Welcome back. And we're continuing our pursuit of becoming skillful conversationalists. And focus of today is going to be around how making assumptions, jumping to conclusions can get in the way of really creating that healthy connection with other people. So Andre, talk to us about, the trap of making assumptions and what that does to negatively impact our ability to be skillful conversationalists.
Okay, thanks, Darren. And I'm going to start this one off with a quiz for all of our listeners. I'm going to show you an image and I'm going to ask you a question, and I'm going to give you 15 seconds or thereabouts to come up with and write down your answer somewhere. I've done this many times in groups and virtually. The record is 15 seconds. If you beat it, you are right on the record. Send us a note and tell us how long it took you. Okay, are you ready? So I'm going to flash up an image on the screen. And the question is, can you see the hidden tiger? Okay, well, that's about 15 seconds. If you could see the hidden tiger, please write it down. I will give you the answer at the end of this video. So if you haven't got it, stay tuned. One of the things that gets us into a lot of trouble in terms of conversations and having conversations with people is we sometimes rush to judgment by making incorrect assumptions. We talked last time about curiosity and judgment. Well, one of the ways to stop us getting to that is to slow it down a little bit. So we talk about this idea of how we tend to rush and pick up assumptions as we go. And I want to share with you a couple of really fascinating stories. Darren, I think it was in Canada, there was an elite private school, a boarding school. And one of the things the students decided to do to cause a little bit of chaos at the end of year within their school is they got 3 goats, right? Okay. White goats. And so these goats, they painted the letters 1 on one goat, 2 on the second goat, and 4 on the third goat. Okay. They let the goats go loose and they were causing mayhem going through the school. So a lot of the teachers and faculty went searching for goats. And guess where they spent most of their time? Looking for goat number 3, right? That didn't exist. So that was a very clever way to actually cause mayhem and confusion based on a natural inclination is to rush towards judgment as goat number 3 has got to be somewhere else around. Assumptions are part of our life. We have to make them. We can't not make them. We assume that when we get out and walk across the road on a pedestrian crossing, we're going to assume that people know that a pedestrian crossing is meant to stop. Assumptions become a really key part of how we go through life. We have to make them. But sometimes we rush to judgment by not paying enough attention to the assumptions that we are looking at. There's a thing called the Ladder of Inference, which I use very often. It's a very, very effective tool, which is what we do is we select one piece of data. We select one thing. Based on that one thing that we see, we tend to make some assumptions, and we run up this ladder by looking at the assumptions. Based on those assumptions that we make from that one piece of data, we draw conclusions, and then we take action. But what happens if the assumptions are wrong and the data you've looked at is not the right data you should be looking at? We actually can cause mayhem as a leader within our team and all sorts of problems going ahead. A manager is sitting down and seems to be quite focused. An employee looks at their manager and says, they look quite busy. So the assumption I'm making is they're very busy, they're too busy for me. And the conclusion I draw from that, well, I'm not going to bother them even though I really need help. And so you take action and you don't go there. It works the other way as well, right? So a manager looking at an employee, they may see this person in a heated discussion with someone, and the assumption they make is they're actually in conflict, and they draw a conclusion that these two people don't get on really well, and then they take action to separate them in teams. But the data could well be they were engaged in a very interesting conversation about something they both felt very passionate about, and they were discussing it. Right? So these things infect us, if you like, and what we've got to do is slow it down a little bit, stop and pause and think about what's going on. Am I selecting the right data? Am I making the right assumptions? Am I taking the right actions going forward? So that's one of the ways we can elevate our conversations, is by being really clear in the assumptions. Additional to that, we can ask the other person that we are in a conversation with what data they might be looking at and what assumptions they might be drawing from that, and really helps them think a little bit broader. So let's come back to the hidden tiger, because I know you're all wondering, right? If you haven't been able to find the hidden tiger, have a closer look at its stripes. The hidden tiger is actually the words the hidden tiger spelled out on the stripes of the tiger. So when I said to you, can you see the hidden tiger? What data do you select? You looked at the image, right? What assumptions did you make? So that's it. Yes. Let us know your times as to how long it took you to figure out whether you could find the hidden tiger. And please share this with everyone you think might find this useful. Thank you so much for allowing us to be an algorithm in your life. I love that, Darren. Allowing us to be an algorithm, part of your algorithm.